Breaking developments tonight in a case that has stunned both the financial world and criminal investigators across multiple states. A mysterious Bitcoin transaction, small in size but massive in implications, has reportedly been traced to a digital wallet believed to be connected to Nancy Guthrie's ransom letter. Authorities are not calling it a breakthrough just yet. But behind the scenes, sources say this could be the first real crack in a case that until now felt like chasing a ghost through the dark web. Let's rewind for a moment. Weeks ago, the ransom letter surfaced, cold, calculated, and chillingly precise. It demanded payment not in cash, not through offshore wire transfers, but in Bitcoin. That alone wasn't unusual. Cryptocurrency has increasingly become the currency of choice for modern extortion schemes. But what made this letter different was the sophistication. The sender appeared to understand blockchain tracing techniques. They structured the wallet address carefully. They included instructions that suggested technical knowledge far beyond the average criminal. And most disturbingly, they seemed confident they wouldn't be caught. But here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. Blockchain analysts monitoring suspicious crypto flows flagged a transfer. Relatively small, almost insignificant at first glance, sent to a wallet address that appears linked to the ransom instructions. It wasn't the full ransom amount. It wasn't even close. It was more like a signal. A test. Or perhaps, a mistake. And mistakes are what investigators live for. Sources familiar with the matter say federal authorities, along with private crypto forensics firms, began tracing the transaction within hours. Unlike traditional bank transfers, Bitcoin transactions are permanently recorded on a public ledger. Anonymous? Yes. Invisible? Absolutely not. Every move leaves a trail. The trick is connecting that digital trail to a real human being. Now here's the twist that has investigators leaning forward in their chairs. The wallet receiving the Bitcoin may not have been freshly created for the ransom. Analysts reportedly found older transaction history, tiny fragments of activity dating back months, possibly even years. That suggests something critical. Either the suspect recycled an existing wallet, or this wallet is connected to a broader network. And if it's the latter, the implications grow far more serious. Because this wouldn't just be a ransom case anymore. It could be part of a larger cyber extortion web operating quietly across jurisdictions. Officials are staying tight-lipped. No formal confirmation has been issued publicly about suspects. But digital forensic teams are now reportedly mapping out the wallet's entire transaction graph, every incoming coin, every outgoing fraction, every linked address. And in the world of crypto investigations, patterns matter. Timing matters. Even a single reused IP address, a login from a careless VPN drop, or a transaction sent through a centralized exchange can unravel the entire illusion of anonymity. Here's what makes this even more intense. According to sources close to the investigation, the ransom letter itself included subtle linguistic markers, phrasing and tone that analysts believe could indicate the author's educational background. It wasn't sloppy. It wasn't emotional. It was structured. Methodical. Almost corporate in its delivery. And now, with Bitcoin moving through a possibly connected wallet, investigators may be able to compare behavioral patterns, language patterns, transaction timing, geographic clues hidden within digital fingerprints. And that's where technology meets psychology. Because modern ransom investigations don't just follow the money. They follow behavior. They follow habits. They follow ego. Was this small Bitcoin transfer sent by the suspect to test the wallet before demanding the full amount? Was it a third party attempting to interfere? Or, perhaps most intriguing, was it someone trying to send a message back? Financial crime experts explain that criminals often underestimate one thing: blockchain analytics has evolved dramatically. Companies specializing in crypto intelligence now use machine learning to cluster wallet addresses together, identifying patterns that suggest shared ownership. Even if a suspect uses mixing services or attempts to wash funds through multiple transactions, traces often remain. digital breadcrumbs. And sometimes, just one breadcrumb is enough. Now imagine this scenario. If investigators manage to link that wallet to a cryptocurrency exchange account, even indirectly, they could potentially subpoena account registration data, email addresses, login IP history, device fingerprints. And once that door opens, the anonymity shield collapses fast. But there's more. Some reports suggest that the ransom letter included instructions about using specific exchanges or platforms to purchase Bitcoin. That detail may not have been random. It may reveal familiarity, or even personal experience, with certain crypto services. And if that connection overlaps with known wallet activity, investigators could be narrowing their focus much faster than the public realizes. Still, caution is everywhere. Officials understand the dangers of premature conclusions. Wallet attribution is complex. Blockchain addresses can be shared, sold, or spoofed. Criminals can intentionally plant misleading trails. And in high-profile cases, misdirection is almost expected. But what makes this moment different is that investigators now have movement, real movement, on a wallet directly referenced in the ransom communication. Now, there's at least a keyhole. And behind that keyhole could be answers. Legal analysts say if the wallet connection holds up under scrutiny, charges could extend beyond simple extortion. There could be cyber fraud violations, interstate communication crimes, and potentially conspiracy counts if multiple actors are involved. And if any part of the Bitcoin trail crosses international exchanges, international cooperation agreements could activate. That means this case could expand across borders in a matter of days. The public reaction has been intense. Social media exploded when rumors of the Bitcoin link began circulating. Some claim it proves cryptocurrency enables crime. Others argue the transparency of blockchain is exactly why this case may finally move forward. And both perspectives carry weight. Because here's the reality, Bitcoin doesn't erase trails. It records them forever. The real question is whether investigators can interpret that record quickly enough before funds are moved again. Timing now becomes everything. Crypto can be transferred in minutes. But forensic analysis can take days, sometimes weeks. If the suspect becomes aware that the wallet is under scrutiny, they could attempt to fragment the funds, sending them through dozens of microtransactions designed to overwhelm tracking efforts. Yet experienced analysts say such panic moves often create even more traceable noise. Sometimes the tighter you run, the louder your footsteps become. There's also the psychological angle. If the suspect believed they were operating in complete digital darkness, the knowledge that law enforcement is now circling the wallet could trigger unpredictable behavior. More communication. More digital activity. More mistakes. And investigators are watching. Every block mined. Every Satoshi moved. The next 72 hours could be critical. If additional funds enter or leave the suspected wallet, analysts will map the path in real time. If nothing moves, that silence itself could be telling. It could suggest the wallet was only ever meant to receive one test transaction. Or it could indicate that the suspect is waiting, carefully monitoring public reports to gauge how much authorities know. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, teams are likely comparing this case to previous crypto ransom investigations. In several high-profile cases over the past few years, suspects were eventually identified not because Bitcoin failed, but because human discipline failed. A reused password. A login without VPN. A careless email recovery address tied to a real phone number. Technology can be flawless. Humans rarely are. And that's why this small Bitcoin transfer, this single digital move, has investigators leaning in. It's not about the amount. It's about the connection. If that wallet truly ties back to Nancy Guthrie's ransom letter, then the narrative changes. The case shifts from anonymous threat to traceable suspect. From shadow to silhouette. And once you can see the outline of a suspect, the chase accelerates. As of tonight, officials are urging the public to avoid speculation while the forensic process unfolds. But one thing is certain. The illusion that cryptocurrency guarantees invisibility is being tested in real time. A ransom letter sparked fear. A Bitcoin transfer sparked hope. And somewhere behind a screen, someone may be realizing that digital footprints are harder to erase than they thought. This story is far from over. In fact, it may just be entering its most critical chapter.